it all seems to be working now, which I'll take as a win. I don't know why everything decided it had to reshuffle itself on the where it was going to put things on audio inputs and audio routing, but it did. So it's fine. We're figuring things out. I'm a little... There we go. Now I'm actually better centered in that frame again. Well, oh, Cal's not on the stream. What is his name here? It's just, go away. Go away with Cal's name. He shouldn't be here, and it's not... Wow, I really didn't finish fixing the stream. It's not Operation Strife, it's Faction Turn 49. We're off to a fantastic start this morning. So fantastic, in fact, that we only have a single lore stream announcement to get started with. So I'm going to go ahead and bring to you the publication from the Agumala Syndicate as we get started today, and then we'll roll right along in to the faction turn. This is another one of those internal memorandums, and seeing as Lupus is unavailable today, his office forwarded it to me to bring it to you all. So let's take a look. This is to the members and affiliated patrons of the Agumala Syndicate from the assembled leaders of the Agumala Syndicate on the subject of fleet advancements. So, right, we have, this month has been a busy one for the Agumala's fleets, who, after returning from their great hunt, have begun work on numerous upgrades to better support future endeavors. Though the investments in such efforts are significant, lodge members from across the Hunter's Vale agree that embracing advancement is of paramount importance when preparing for encounters with the powerful spaceborne fauna. In pursuit of this, portions of the Rites of Spring have been working with survey crews in the HE system as part of their current posting on GOM. Through their work, the teams have been able to identify a new asteroid belt that appears to be rich in a number of materials needed for ship construction. While the survey is still ongoing, early mining teams have already been contracted to identify the richest asteroids, with hope that Mixcotl's Forge will soon be able to draw on these bountiful reserves and development of future designs. Further afield, the fleet Armada of the Wild Expanse has moved to Telos to take advantage of the facilities located there, to perform system refits. These modifications are needed to add support for a number of existing automated fleet systems, as well as for augmenting them with new tactical capabilities. For further details on Agumala's fleet upgrades, or to contribute to the advancement of our fleet's strategic capabilities, please contact your local syndicate representative. Thank you to the Agumala Syndicate for providing yet another memorandum to us here at Beacon Space Broadcast. We certainly love to bring everyone the news, and even better when it comes from you. I'm sure it'll be interesting to see how this affects the results of the Irel Quarrying, with the Mine Irel Corporation probably looking to expand into the new region. With that said, though, thank you to the wonderful contributors from Agumala Syndicate. We'll move right along in to our first faction turn, and I will double check that there's nothing in chat to address first. Fantastic. Let's make sure you can see this. This is, of course, our map, which is working again after being down for an unfortunate week in trying to get it fixed with Operation Strife, which, if you weren't here for us when we had that, well, you missed a fun event. I'm sure we'll be working on a recap in the near future that hopefully will come to the next lore stream with both myself and Calbrecht. With that said, did I make the faction turn orders for today? I don't think I've put them in. So guess what, everybody? We're doing it live, which is a non-ideal way to handle it, but it's fine. We can make this work. Can you believe we are at a spreadsheet where the columns are starting with the letter E or echo? Like, it's insane to me that I have a spreadsheet that needs EV as one of its column headers because we've just gone through that many letters. Wow. In the meantime, though, we're going to get started with the Ascended Epistratum, who are first for turn 49. They are going to be taking the goal of a planetary seizure, as they likely have a seize that is working on completing this turn. We will go give them their income, though, in our lovely transaction ledger, generating 8 faction credits for them. Right now, they have a few things they're going to do with their buy asset action. First off, we're going to acquire... Oh, my highlighting's not working. We should fix this with a refresh. There we go. And then refix my zoom. And some assets traded, so let's give this a sort so that it's easier to find things. So the Ascended Epistratum are going to purchase an asset here. Let's go add that to the bottom of their list. They're going to be acquiring an Extended Theater asset, which comes in at a cost of 10 faction credits. That should not be 1. It's going to be 10 almost certainly for that HP. And, well, I believe it does, in fact, have no dice, but I want all of those columns to appropriately have their formulas for the future. And this is coming in on the world of Icaros, where they are, in fact, the planetary governors, so there's no issues with an asset being purchased there. Let's go ahead and make this purchase sickness. Up next, they're going to activate their smugglers on the world of Planet Do to move itself to Planet DD. In that same hex, it's going to cost them 1 faction credit to do so. And then they're going to move the smugglers on Beholder, these ones here, to the ones that just vacated Planet Do. Well, that's going to cost another faction credit. And then finally, they're going to attempt to excavate that ruin that is still persisting on Planet Do. They're going to spend a D10 plus 3 faction credits on this roll for a total result of a 10, giving them +2 success on that ruin track. So let's go make a note of that. I adjust my mic slightly. This is on Planet Do, which puts their ruin progress at 3 out of 8. Fascinating. We just have a seize to complete for them. So the Ascended Epistratum was seizing multiple planets here. Do, DD, and AT all in the turn. So I have names for these. Let me go make sure I have those available. And let's go mark these as seized. So there are 3 planets here, Do, DD, and AT, that are all being wrapped up. So Planet DD becomes Ostrakismos, now controlled by the Ascended Epistratum. Should go through all these old drop-downs and make them the new fancy ones with the colored chits, because that looks cool. Planet Do is becoming Elysium Maledictum. Which is 2 of these planets, and then Planet AT is the last one they were seizing. Let me go ahead and give them their XP, potentially causing myself problems in just a moment. Planet AT, oops, not AI, AT, becomes the Eternum Captivus. Yeah, that sounds about right. For the Ascended Epistratum. Congratulations to them for the planets they've just finished their seize of. They also have notes that another planet should be renamed. They have a name for Planet DL, which is now Terrafall. Looks like they have some system names they can pass along when they are ready as well. Nobody refresh the map because it's going to complain now, but I will fix all of those afterwards because there are quite a lot. Let's get rid of their trade sickness on the asset that fades away at the end of their turn, and then charge them for their costs. So they spent a total of 14 faction credits this turn beyond their purchase movement. Actually, excuse me, it's 15 faction credits. There were 2 movements there. And so that is their turn. We do have one definitely insignificant roll where we need to roll 2d10s. I'm sure nothing will happen on those rolls. Cool, so that's a 4 and a 6. Fantastic. We'll move right along to whoever's next, which in this case is the Tahora Ofai, coming in second for turn 49. We do not want to be all the way back this way. So they are second. They are going to continue their goal of inside enemy territory, as they are required to do by the rules, unless they get rid of it. But first, they will collect their income of 22 faction credits. So let's go ahead and give that to them. And then let's process their turn, which is also a buy asset action. They're going to be purchasing an asset on the world of Tellus, as well as trading in an asset to make it a little bit cheaper. There is a strike fleet somewhere on this world called the Unquiet and Unafraid, right here. It's going to be transformed into an Armageddon mech. This will be treated in, so only costing them 12 faction credits. It, of course, will lose stealth because it has been refit, and that does not stick around, and it regains purchase sickness. And then it gains, of course, up to 20 faction credits there, or 20 HP, excuse me. So that'll cost them 12 faction credits right there. There's an interesting note that they have in their submission where they note that this would decrease the number of assets in the IET goal, which means I actually want to go read the inside enemy territory. Have a number of assets equal to this faction's cunning stat with stealth status on a planet with a planetary governor. Units already on a planet with planetary governor must change the planet they are on to count. Which raises an interesting question, as if you have to complete this condition at once at the end, or if an asset can add to the tracker because it gets checked at the end of last turn, putting IET at 3 out of whatever it is, 3 out of 4, right? Because they have a cunning of 4. Yeah, 3 out of 4. And then at the end of this turn, so long as a new unique asset had moved, it would be at 4 out of 4, because that would get the 4th one. It's not a huge deal because they've moved 2 assets, so that this doesn't cause problems either way. But it is an interesting question as to when that condition checks, because I've given them credit for 3 out of 4, and I would have marked off that these assets can no longer count, towards this goal completion. But I think I would have accepted just 1 additional asset movement, even though this one has lost stealth, because it checked the box last turn. It'd be interesting to see what other people thought. The only reason I would allow it to not be concurrent, to respond to the direct comment in chat there, is because of the way the other goals work, where they can like blood the enemy is just damage done over time, right? So you add to the tracker, and then so long as the tracker is complete, you are done. So IET could like tick up, but you couldn't use the same asset multiple turns in a row, right? So they couldn't just move the same asset again on the same goal. But it's an interesting question, one that thankfully I don't actually have to answer because they've moved 2 other assets anyway. So let's go do those movements. First off, though, they have an Anchorage station, the this one, whose name I'm not even going to bother trying to pronounce, that's going to move from the world of Daine to Dacia. It's going to cost a faction credit and lose the armored status. They're then going to activate the Adept link on the unnamed Anchorage station using their tag ability. Somewhere. Oh, it's down here. This is the unnamed one. They're going to grant stealth to the Anchorage station that just moved here for a few faction credits, as well as the distorted lens Accelerate Lagarena, something like that. These names are tough without pronunciation guides, and even with them, they're pretty tough. That'll cost a total of 5 faction credits. Then we're going to move the Space Marines that are currently on the world of Dacia, right here, to the world of Tellus for a faction credit, adding 1 to the inside enemy territory counter. And then the second one is moving the distorted lenses, the ones that just gain stealth, activated with a covert shipping that is currently the Rays of Light. They're going to move to Tellus as well, which will give the second goal completion for IET. So that works out pretty well for them. That wraps up their turn. They will lose the stun status on this Armageddon mech as we've processed the end of their turn now. They complete inside enemy territory, so we will go grant them 2 XP, going up to 13. And then we just need to charge them for everything they've done this turn, which comes to a grand total of 20 faction credits. Up next, coming in third this faction turn. Oh, before we do that, excuse me. I have Mysterious Dice to roll. I can't forget that. That would be very unmysterious of me. A 4, a 9, and an 8. Okay, I will make notes. But with that, though, we'll move on to the Children of the Vein, who are coming in third this faction turn. They're going to be taking the Exploration goal. First time we've seen that in a while, as well as the Exploration action to do some things. So let's go ahead and process out their turn. First up, they are going to move. They're going to be moving a Armageddon mech that is currently on the world of Morrow to the world of the Point of Interest 6. One of the few Point of Interest still remaining on the board. That's going to cost them a total of 2 faction credits. 1 for the movement and another for the Point of Interest costs. Then they're going to explore with an Armageddon mech on this world. Their target DC is difficulty 12, but they'll be getting a +6 bonus on this roll. So D10 +6, they do reroll 1s, so we should count for that. Good thing they do. That is only an 8, though even with that reroll, quite rough. They will take the damage to succeed. In the event, though, that wasn't the case, so a D4 worth of damage does deal 3 damage to this Armageddon mech that has relocated itself to here, taking it down to 17 HP. Now we need to see how many planets we find, which is rolling a D6. That's just a single planet. That's just a single planet, which is this one. That's an interesting world. Okay. Let's transfer this in to the spreadsheet then. Planet map. This is Point of Interest VI. Right here. It is tactic assets costing 1 less with a failed colony, landing itself at TL3. With a airless or thin atmosphere, a warm temperature, and an immiscible biosphere, along with the faction tags of anarchists and Pleasure World. So those are interesting tags for it. So congratulations on that discovery. I have no idea what planet this is supposed to be. Maybe I have a note. Is there planet DP? Not what I wanted. There is. Well, that's unfortunate. Is there a planet for DQ? No, okay. I'll update my notes so that hopefully next time we have to reveal a planet, I know which one is next. But there is that planet all revealed. Up next, for the Children of the Vein, we are going to activate their transit web. To move some assets around. So I have a transit web currently on the world of Beholder. It's going to move some listed assets on planet DN to the world of Tellus, and that is a commodities broker and this hostile takeover. Those both move to a world with a pirate tag on it, which does incur the additional pirate tax. There is a bank, however, for the very first activation, so only the second makes a charge. And then we're going to activate this transit web again to move the transit web that is located on that world, to move itself to Tellus as well, which will, of course, incur an additional faction credit gain to the Tahora Y. Up next, we have a ruin excavation on the world of Beholder. Let's go ahead and see if we can make some progress there. So this is a D10 re-rolling ones plus 2 faction credit spends. That's an 11. That's 2 successes, which I believe should in fact get them very, very close to revealing this ruin. Oh, it does in fact reveal the ruin. So that's very exciting. Which means I'll get to announce that. I think that's, yes, okay. Cool. I have my notes ready to be able to announce that at the end of the stream then. And somebody do remind me if I forget, because it's not in my normal flow document, so I might accidentally forget. So if I do, somebody remind me and I will announce it. Up next though, we just need to go finish the seas of planet DN. They provide a name for this world. Don't know. They did. It's in my notes. It is now the world called Starfly's Blessing in the Pharos system, excuse me. Fantastic. So that's that wraps up their turn. They did an exploration, so that gives them 2 XP, taking them up to 16. We get back over here to their transaction ledger, where we never gave them their income. I'm incredibly sorry, but this is what the ledger's for. Makes it much harder to to forget and very easy to correct. So we'll then charge them for everything they did this turn, which is a total of 6 faction credits being charged to the bank, and 2 that make their way over to Tahora from Pirate Tag on Tellus. 1 negated by bank. Fantastic. Now we have some mysterious dice to go roll. Okay. A 9, a 4, a 5, and a 10. Fantastic. I've made my notes. Let's move on to the Tellus Council, who's up next this faction turn, where they're going to need to pay 1 faction credit to the bank to start their turn. But good news is they're going to be rolling to generate some money. So let's go figure out how much that is with a very consistent turn from them. First up, we have 2 post-tech industries that, 1 post-tech industry that is going to attempt to make some money. It's made 2 faction credits. We're going to roll 2d8s for some pre-tech manufacturers, rolling both a 2 and a 1. Wow, that's rough. We'll use that reroll ability to reroll 1 of these into an 8, so that's a great return on the use there. We'll then roll a harvester and a party machine. So 2 faction credits from that post-tech industry. 1 credit and then 4 credits. Becomes 7. 1 more from the harvester becomes 8. That doubles up to 16. We did use the reroll. That becomes 19. So that's 19 faction credits, unless I've messed up my math, which I'm sure somebody will correct me if that's the case. Also, I see some comments. Okay, yeah. Oh, is there an EA because I didn't have time to search? That's funny. I searched this time. Anyway, I will be right back. I actually need to refill my water because I'm very thirsty. And so I will leave you all with some music in the meantime while I go do that. Okay, water acquired. Doing much better. Let's get back into this. So, they made 19 faction credits. You're saying it should be 17 faction credits. Is that not 2 from the post-tech? Assets. Thought I had that memorized table at this point, but I might not. Yeah, so that's 2. Oh, 2, 3, 7, 8. Yeah, okay, 8 doubled to 16, 17. I don't know where I added a +1 from. Good point. Should be 17. That's all fixed. Which is, of course, the Tellus Council's turn. Pretty much done. Because that's what they've been doing. Every turn. They were 4th. So we'll move along to the 5th faction's turn, which is the Ogummal Syndicate. They are going to have the Scout a System goal, and I've just realized I think I have a mistake here. Those are the wrong numbers. They are going to take the Scout a System goal and purchase an asset. Another one of these Armageddon mechs being purchased on Tellus. So let's go do that for them. First off, the existing one loses Purchase Sickness and goes up to 20 as they heal it first. They're then going to activate the Rites of Spring to move itself from Gome to Tellus, and then get refit into an Armageddon mech. Again, costing 12 faction credits. They will also move the Armada of Wild Expanse from Tellus to the empty hex of 1009, because it is in fact stunned after that Purchase Sickness wears away, so its movement range is reduced by 1. Finally, they're going to revise charts in the Skilla's Reach Quetzalcoatl to see if they can find any moons up there. So, this is a D10 plus 6 versus DC 8. That's a 16. And they, in fact, get to find a single solitary moon up there around the world of Quetzalcoatl. I have no idea what moon number this should be. Looks like 7. Well, if it's breaking the map, I'll fix it later, because there's a bunch of things breaking the map at the moment. That will complete their goal, giving them effect and XP, taking them up to 8. And they have, of course, need to get to their income and be charged for their costs this turn. They've they generated a total of 6 faction credits. And they spent 13 to the bank and 1 to Horowai. Pirate tag on Tellus. Fantastic. Now they do, of course, have 2 mysterious dice rolls that need to happen. A 2 and a 10. Okay. So we'll make notes and move on to the Umbral Triumvirate, who are going to roll 3 harvesters. So let's do that now. A 2, a 6, and a 5. That's plus 2 faction credits. That'll make their turn very quick and very easy. They are going to generate themselves 1 faction credit in income, and then generate 2 from those harvesters, taking making them up a +3 balance. And that will wrap up the Umbral Triumvirate turn, bringing us to the Assembled Commonwealth. We're going to make a total of 7 faction credits of income in their turn. Let's get to this in just a second. Where's the Umbral Triumvirate in this list? There they are. They were 6th this turn. There they are. Assembled Commonwealth is 7th. They're going to take a Scout the System goal as well, and then purchase an asset. Let's go do that for them. So, they are going to be purchasing, excuse me, I don't need a new roll. They're purchasing an asset by doing a refit on the world of Idarast. They have a covert shipping asset right here, which they are going to trade in, and it's going to become a party machine, which costs the exact same amount of money. So this costs nothing for them to do. Just gets purchase sickness, and they have a new party machine. I hope they enjoy their party on Idarast. Then they're going to try to reveal a gas giant, hopefully named Pelagon, in the Astinar system. This would be a D10 +6 from Constellation bonus, just scooting by a little bit over that DC 8 goal to find a gas giant. So let's go ahead and add that. This is in the Astinar system. Pelagon, and it's a gas giant. Fantastic. That gets them 1 XP. So we go up to 6. And then just need to charge them for absolutely nothing this turn. So that'll wrap up their turn. And I was told I missed something in the Tahora Y's turn. Oh, I see. I missed a revise charts roll. Let's go put that on their turn and go roll it. Oops. I'm gonna attempt to change the world tag on Sept Show from Tyranny to Revolutionaries. This is DC 14 jumping all the way back to the Tahora Y. Yeah. That's an 18. They can make that change. From Tyranny to Revolutionaries. Fantastic. What a fun success. All right. Up next, we have the Larkspur Combine coming in 8th this faction turn. They're going to be taking no goal and then using asset ability to go roll some dice. So let's go give them their income of a total of 6 faction credits, and then roll some dice for that generation for them. We have 2 party machines. Wow, rough rolls there. 2 Post-Tech Industries. And a Harvester. So, nothing from those party machines. 2 and -1 from the Post-Tech Industries, so only a +1. The Harvester does make something, though. So, for all those dice rolled, 2 faction credits. And that completes their turn. Congratulations to them. Up next, we have the Emelhart Institute. Ooh, we're in this list somewhere and are coming in 9th this faction turn. They are going to be purchasing an asset, a demagogue, on the world of Ingrid. So let's go give them their income. of 6 faction credits, and then go buy that asset. So, right in here, we'll add a row. They are going to be purchasing a demagogue. This costs normally a total of 20 faction credits. Now, they do have some discounts available that are able to lower the cost. They have a total discount of 9 faction credits available. That'll make this cost 11 faction credits. So we will charge them that in just a moment. And that'll be the end of their turn. So trade sickness will fade away, as will the Simple Commonwealth's trade sickness that I missed earlier. So, transaction costs from the Amelhart Institute back to that bank of 11 faction credits. See discount. Fantastic. Coming in 10th, we have the Starlit Court, who are going to collect their income of 7 faction credits, and then take the Scout A System goal, as well as the Seize Planet action. They are 10th. Moving just the Concord of Mutual Disdain, and to come in 11th. Fantastic. This is all working out. Let's go start a seize then of Planet DH, which I've just realized I never checked to make sure it was empty, so hopefully it was. In fact, it's just them. Good thing I didn't mess that up. So let's go make a note of this seize starting. Seize Planet DH is now at 1 of 3. And of course, this seize should be of 2. Which is fantastic. So that starts that, and then we're going to attempt to revise charts of the Polaris system to discover a research base. Their constellation gives them a high enough bonus for this, because it's plus 10, but I need to roll the die anyway. D10 plus 10 is a 14 to acquire this new sector object. I have no idea what research base that should be. Hopefully they will give me a name. That will gain them an XP, and they've spent nothing this turn. And then last for our factions, but certainly not least, we have the Concord of Mutual Disdain coming in 11th. They are going to generate their income of 7 faction credits before taking the Expand Influence goal and action. They will be expanding influence on the world of Sup Show, which they can do with an asset that is located there. There is, to horrify ye assets around, they have decided not to contest. Where's the Concord Mutual Disdain? There they are. Of course, they need to actually move the asset first, so I should do that. They're going to move an Armageddon mech that is on planet CK, which is this one, right? Yep. 2. Do they already have an asset on Sup Show? They do, right? Yeah, the one that this party machine. So I should do this in the correct order, because otherwise I'm gonna mess things up. They need the base of influence first. Conquered of Mutual Disdain, base of influence. Should be 1 there. Sup Show It's a base of influence, and distance dilation allows them to move this Armageddon mech there for using their attack. And then this asset is disabled till the end of their turn. Can't use it for anything else, but that's fine because they aren't. They're going to move a strike fleet that's in the 1014 system to the 0912 system. Fantastic. And then disabled fades away at the end of their turn, right? That's the way this, yeah. That's the way that works. They expanded influence, so that grants them a XP, taking them up to 9. And they have some costs from this turn. They spent 2 faction credits into the bank, 1 for that movement, or 1 for the expand influence and 1 for the strike fleet's movement. And then they have a single faction credit pirate tag on Shepto, something like that, to the Tohora Fai. We, of course, have some fun mysterious dice to roll. 6 and a 7. I'll make some notes. And we have megafauna that effectively are going to do nothing. Do I need to check if I can get a new one? I think that's the only real interesting thing, right? And you're now on a new planet. They could roam around 1, 2, 3, 4. I think they're allowed to have 5, right? Somewhere in here. Nope, 4, which they have. So no new megafauna. They might roam around. I will move them if they do when I make other fixes to the map. Which means I just have a ruin to announce, I think. I clearly have some things to fix so that the map will work afterwards. So I will fix that in just a second. Yeah, which one of these could move? I want to build a macro is the reason I'm not rolling these right at this exact second. I think it's what, the 2 passives and the stealthy can move, because yeah, those are all space faunas. So I'm going to build a macro to make my life easier, so I will roll those and move them off stream, and if they move, there will be an update in the post with all of the corrections. So let's get to the ruin that is on the world of Beholder. Which I have here. Let me double check this. Do I still want that portion? Yes, I do. Small edit that I need from something that needed me to fill it in based on the world, but now that that's been filled in, I can show this. So, the ruin on the world of Beholder is an abandoned nanobot construction facility. It has the effect, this planet gains the following ability. As an action, buy one asset on this planet. Most normal asset restrictions do not apply. The final cost depends on the modifiers below. Multipliers are added together and then applied. A faction can only purchase one asset per turn, regardless of the method used to purchase an asset. The modifiers on costs are if it is tech level 5, because Beholder as the world is not TL5. It's only TL4. If it is a TL5 asset, then it will cost an additional 25%. If the controlling faction of this world becomes a council, it will cost 25% more. If the new asset is not in the stat in which the faction has the absolute lowest, ties incur this additional fee of 50%. That's the choice of the word absolute there for indicating that ties still get the fee of an additional 50%. In addition, this planet has a new clock. It's a 0 out of Shrug faction credits, or 0 out of Shrug turns, which any faction can contribute to the faction credit clock at any time. Immediately when the clock is completed, the following effects will activate. The planetary governor will gain an additional faction credit per turn, and the planet will gain one more ability, which is for 1 faction cred. Move an asset located on this planet up to 1 hex. Free action that can be activated multiple times. All factions will gain the ability to count this world as a valid destination of movement, and if a faction contributed more than its will score to this clock at the time of completion, the faction will gain an additional XP. Cool. There is their new ruin. Which I think wraps things up then. I have some spreadsheet fixes to make, but I will make those off stream because that is always easier than fixing things live. If there are any questions about the ruin effects, feel free to follow up with me in Discord, and we'll make sure it's clarified as to what it means. In the meantime, though, thanks everyone for joining us for Faction Turn 49, and if you were here for the Operation Strife that had occurred in a previous, very short previous time frame. I hope you enjoyed that as well, and thanks to everyone who participated in that. It was a full day of fun. Do the pre-tech discounts work? Yes. If you have commodity brokers discounts, they work just like the pre-tech logistics. So, still can't go below 50% of the original asset purchase price. So, if it's not in your absolute lowest and it's 50% more and then 25% more from TL5, it could be subtracted up to a maximum of down to 50% to the original purchase cost. Right? So Armageddon mech, assuming you don't have the lowest force units, goes up to what? 24 becomes 36. It's TL5, so there's an additional 25% of that original 24, which happens to be 6, so that's 42. If you could manage a discount of 30 faction credits, you would take it all the way back down to 12 faction credits. But 30 would be a pretty big discount to acquire. So, yeah. That I think wraps up the Faction Turn. So thanks everyone for joining us for Faction Turn 49. Faction Turn 50 will be in, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, in 5 weeks on December 5th, I believe. Let me go double check my notes where I have an intended next date. Pretty sure it is... Yeah, December 7th, will be the next Faction Turn, and then we'll have a nice long break over the course of December before we pick up with a Faction Turn again in January, so there's plenty of time for the holidays, And the 7th should dodge US Thanksgiving shenaniganry and not have to have the faction turn the weekend after Thanksgiving. So that should work out well with the upcoming holiday schedules. But in the meantime, I will see you all later. It might take me a bit to get to the spreadsheet fixes and whatnot, but I'll make a post in the Discord once those have been completed, and the map and stuff should work. So thanks everyone for joining. I will leave you with some fun tunes as we head on out. Bye.